What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Going for Two Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be covering the first round of the 2020 NFL entry draft, and you're going to see our reactions to all of the picks in the first round. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Beginning with the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL entry draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected quarterback Joe Burrow. I think that he was definitely the right pick here. However, I am going to give this one a B+ because I don't think that Burrow is going to be the superstar that everyone imagines him to be. He is quite talented, yes, but I really do think that there are some other quarterbacks in this draft who are actually going to have better NFL careers.
I absolutely love how the Redskins drafted Chase Young. They don't actually need an edge rusher, as they have Montez Sweat, which they drafted last year, and Ryan Kerrigan, who is Pro Bowl material. But Chase Young is just so, I want to say, versatile that you can't pass off on him. He led the NCAA in sacks with 16.5, and his 44 total tackles and his 6 forced fumbles are not bad at all. I love Chase Young, and he will be amazing on this Redskins defense, led by no other than the defensive master, Ron Rivera. Now, this is another A+ grade for me. Jeffrey Okudah was just a need for the Detroit Lions. The Lions ranked last in total passing yards per game last year. Okudah is going to stop that, and especially with Darius Slay gone, they're going to need a corner to defend. And Okudah is most likely going to be the number 2 or number 1 corner for the Lions, as Desmond Trufant was added to their lineup. Okudah was a must-need, and the Lions did what they were supposed to, and that's why they get an A+.
With the Giants' first-round pick in the NFL draft, I would give the Giants pick a A. I think Andrew Thomas is an A because the Giants really need some offensive line help to protect their young stars in Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, and this will kind of help Daniel Jones and Saquon get more blocking, and Daniel Jones will feel safer in the pocket, which could lead to better throws. So that's why I think this pick for the Giants is an A.
With the 5th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dolphins went out and got their man Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. I mean, he's a playmaker. The Dolphins got their guy. The Dolphins don't want to make the same mistake as they did in past draft where they chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees, and Tua has actually been compared by many scouts with Drew Brees. He has crazy accuracy, and he was slated to go number 1 until the massive amount of injuries that occurred. So Tua could be the future for the young Dolphins roster, which is why this pick definitely deserves an A.
At pick number 6, the Los Angeles Chargers selected quarterback Justin Herbert out of Oregon. I'm going to give this one a C. Personally, I am not too high on Justin Herbert as a player. I don't think that he's going to materialize into a star quarterback like a lot of people think. I think he is definitely going to be the quarterback who is most likely to bust from this draft class. As we saw from his college career, he is pretty talented and is very light on his feet, so he has potential, but I don't think that he's going to be a star in the NFL.
This is a really good pickup for the Panthers, but I just can't give this an A because Isaiah Simmons was still on the board. Like, you can't pass off on such a freak defender, and you really need a defender if you are the Panthers. And Simmons is just remarkable playing safety, corner, defensive tackle, linebacker, whatever you need, and he would fit into rules, positions in this football perfectly. Now, Derek Brown is really amazing, and he will stop the rush, which the Panthers ranked 31st in last season. But you can't pass off on Isaiah Simmons, so this is a B+ for me.
With the Cardinals taking Isaiah Simmons 8th overall in the draft, I feel like that is an A+. Isaiah Simmons is one of the best defensive players in this year's draft. He can play linebacker, safety, edge. He can do it all. He is really fast and big like a linebacker. And the Cardinals have Hopkins and Murray, so they need to start creating a defense that can keep them in games for their offense that is projected to thrive in these upcoming years. And that is why I would give the Cardinals pick on Isaiah Simmons an A+.
Now, C.J. Henderson is just remarkable. I love him. He might be the best corner in this draft class, but Jeffrey Okudah is really good too, so it's very hard to compare the two. But so Henderson, with his 11 passes defended, goes to the Jaguars with the 9th pick. Now, the Falcons really wanted Henderson, but the Jaguars stole him. And I like it because the Jags defense was just not his norm this year. Like, it was just weird watching them play because you're like, they're going to be able to just crush teams with their defense, force turnovers, but they just were not able to do that. So I think Henderson will be able to fit into his role where he can play like Ramsey, and it'll be good.
Personally, I think the Cleveland Browns did pretty well for themselves with picking Jedrick Wills at number 10. I'm going to give this pick a B+ because I do think that Tristan Wirfs, my personal favorite offensive tackle in this draft, was still available. But Jedrick Wills is definitely one of the more talented players picked at this point. He fills a large hole in the team, and I think he'll be pretty good for the Browns.
With the Jets selecting Mekhi Becton, a O-tackle out of Louisville, I feel like that pick is a B+. And why I give it a B+ is because, yes, the Jets need offensive line help for Le'Veon Bell, but I feel like they also need more playmakers at more skilled positions to really give their team a impact right away.
With the 12th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders went out and selected the quick, speedy Henry Ruggs out of Alabama. I know that Raiders fans are ecstatic to get Ruggs. However, I just don't see this working out. He could potentially be the biggest wide receiver bust out of everyone chosen in the first round. Yes, he's fast, and yes, his yards after catch were amazing. However, he is not meant to be the number one wide receiver on the Raiders. So I just don't see how he could play against the top cornerbacks in the NFL, which is why I'm giving this pick a C.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle out of Iowa, at number 13. I think this is an excellent pick. I'm giving this a surefire A, and the only reason it's not an A+ is because they actually traded up with the 49ers to get this pick, and I don't think that was worth it, but Tristan Wirfs is my personal favorite offensive line prospect in this entire draft, and I think he's going to be very useful in filling up the offensive line hole that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have.
With the 14th pick in this NFL Draft, the 49ers traded one spot back to get defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. Now, I know a lot of 49ers were expecting to get Jerry Jeudy or possibly CeeDee Lamb. However, the 49ers went and had their Super Bowl run because of their very, very, very powerful defense, which factored into their defensive line. And with losing DeForest Buckner, Javon Kinlaw definitely replenishes that hole in the defense. The 49ers still got a solid pick in Kinlaw. Because of that, I would give this pick a B.
I'm going to give an A+ to the Denver Broncos for bringing on Jerry Jeudy at pick number 15. I think this is an excellent pick because I think that Jerry Jeudy has the potential to be a number one superstar wide receiver in the league. At the tail end of last year, we saw the Broncos offense really starting to come together, and Jerry Jeudy's addition is really going to provide the extra fuel to make the Broncos into an excellent team. Watching the draft, I was shocked that Jerry Jeudy fell this far, but I'm giving an A+ for the Denver Broncos for swooping him up at pick 15.
With the Falcons taking A.J. Terrell in the NFL draft, I feel like that would be a B for the Falcons because they really need some cornerback help with the loss of Desmond Trufant. That is a position of need, but their team is not just a cornerback away from making a move in the postseason, and they might need some help other places as well, so that's why I would just give it a B.
With the 17th pick in this NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys struck gold and got CeeDee Lamb. Eagles fans are probably extremely annoyed as the Cowboys got another talented receiver in their already extremely talented offense. I don't see how many defenses could stop this powerhouse of an offense. There's just so many weapons. Their offensive line is healthy, even with the sudden retirement from Travis Frederick. I see this Cowboys offense going far if Mike McCarthy can do his job, which is why I'm going to give this pick an A-.
With the Dolphins selecting Austin Jackson, a tackle out of USC, in with the 18th pick in the first round, I feel like this is A for the Dolphins because they drafted their quarterback of the future. Why not draft some help to protect their quarterback so he doesn't get hurt? So I feel like this is a great addition to the Dolphins to help them improve for next year.
In my opinion, I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders had a very good draft, and picking Damon Arnett, the cornerback out of Ohio State at number 19, is certainly a testament to that. I know he was pretty productive in college, but I still think there were much better cornerback prospects still on the board, including Jeff Gladney, who eventually went to the Vikings, and even Christian Fulton, who got stolen by the Titans in the late second round. I give this pick a D+, only because it does address the Raiders' secondary needs, but I'm still not sure what Mike Mayock was thinking. I'm giving an A+ to the Jacksonville Jaguars for selecting K'Lavon Chase on the edge out of LSU at pick number 20. He had a monster season last year, and he's also very strong and talented, which makes this pick very, very beneficial for the Jags. After a total defensive collapse last year, the Jags were looking to rebrand themselves this offseason. I think picking up Chase on at pick 20 will certainly do that.
With the 21st pick in the NFL draft, the Eagles went ahead and surprisingly selected Jalen Reagor. However, I actually really like this pick for the Eagles. Jalen Reagor's upside is tremendous. He is fast, and I know it seemed after his disappointing combine speed that he is not a fit for the NFL. However, he can run a lot faster. If you watch his tape, it fits much better than if they took Justin Jefferson. But Justin Jefferson does look like a better pro, which is why I'm going to give this pick a B-.
I really like how the Vikings got Justin Jefferson. Jefferson, everyone thought he was going to the Eagles. And then the Eagles pick up Jalen Reagor? It was surprising, so I really like how the Vikings went ahead and just got Jefferson instead of waiting for him to fall to 25th, which they actually traded down to get Jeff Gladney, who they probably would have gotten anyway. So I think the Vikings, they deserve an A, and they get an A-, as I love Jefferson. He's a really good slot receiver, and even got 4 touchdowns in the championship game. Jefferson is going to be a huge addition with the loss of Stephon Diggs.
With the 23rd pick, the Chargers selected Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma, the linebacker. I would give a B+ to the draft because the Chargers have a great defense, but linebackers are really where they're lacking. They have great corners and safeties, and they have Joey Bosa on the D-line, so if they can get that linebacking core set, their defense would be a force, especially with the new quarterback. I think that this linebacker is a team need, and that's why I give it a B+.
I like Cesar Ruiz, but I just don't like how the Saints have picked him up at pick 24. I don't think he deserves to go that early, so that's why I give it a B. I really like Ruiz. He gives a good punch. He's very consistent, and he's gonna fit. He's gonna fit perfectly into the Saints system. And since the Saints lost a couple of their interior linemen, I think this is good for them. But I think they could have traded maybe down to the second round, early second round, and they would have gotten Ruiz anyway, and some more picks, which they needed.
With the 25th pick in the NFL draft, the 49ers traded up to get their wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I really don't see this pick working out. You could really say he's just another Deebo Samuel for this offense. There's some upside. I mean, he's very, very physical, and after the catch, he's just a beast. I mean, he does get lots of yardage, and he could be very, very key in their return game. However, the 49ers need I'd say, more consistent wide receiver who has better hands. So I would have to give this pick a C+. With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers went ahead and selected their quarterback of the future, Jordan Love. Now, as a Packers fan, I am pretty livid after this pick. However, I do see tremendous upside from Jordan Love. I mean, some scouts have compared his arm talent to Patrick Mahomes, and I would hope, as a Packers fan, that once he sits under Rodgers for 2 years or more, that he'll gain enough experience to be able to perform at the NFL level, because I do not want to see him turn into the next Jameis Winston. But I have to say the Packers are in a win-now mode. I could see many picks here, so I'd have to give this pick a C, even though I see many Packers fans giving it an F.
I utterly hate this pick for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not even a Seahawks fan, but I would be crying if this was their first round pick. Jordan Brooks is an excellent tackler, but this is way, way too early at the 27th pick. And that's why it's an F minus, minus, minus. Brooks is good, but not first round good. He was my 8th ranked linebacker, even behind Troy Dye and Logan Wilson. I can't believe this. Jordan Brooks was supposed to be like a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, 2nd rounder, and he gets picked at the 1st round. Like, that's ridiculous.
The Ravens went ahead and selected linebacker Patrick Queen. I mean, they couldn't go wrong with Patrick Queen. I mean, some scouts argue that his size may lead to problems when you're playing with larger professionals in the NFL. However, his aggression and his dominance was just outstanding. He won Defensive MVP in the national championship, showing that he can perform under pressure, which was a large problem for the Ravens in the playoffs, which has been their problem for 2 years. And Queen was mentoring behind Devin White for 3 years, actually, and he didn't even start until junior year, and then he started going off. I mean, Patrick Queen, I have to give this pick an A.
With the 29th pick, the Titans select Isaiah Wilson, a offensive lineman from Georgia, and I give this a B because the Titans, their offense only feeds Derrick Henry, and so building a great line will be beneficial to the team. I think they need some help at wide receiver too and some other positions. That's why I will only give this a B.
A lot of people don't exactly know Noah Igbinoghene, but I absolutely love him. I love his competitive toughness. And he may not have intercepted the ball at all in this past college football season, but he had 7 passes defended over the whole year, which is really good. He also had 38 total tackles, 24 solo, and 14 assisted. Like, I think he's going to fit really well into this Miami Dolphins system. And the rebuild, he's going to be able to start and play, which I really look forward to watching him play for the Dolphins. I give this an A- because I think this is the right person for the Dolphins.
After trading back to pick number 31, the Minnesota Vikings selected cornerback Jeff Gladney. I think this is an excellent pick and very deserving of another A. I think that Gladney is really, really going to improve that defensive secondary, which that was one of the biggest holes that the Vikings needed to fill. The Vikings really did have an excellent first round of this draft as they picked up an excellent prospect in Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as well as this cornerback, Jeff Gladney, so they improved 2 large holes on their team. In my opinion, these 2 picks are enough to bring the Vikings back to the playoffs.
With the 32nd pick in the first round, the last pick, the Chiefs, the Super Bowl winning Chiefs, decide to take a running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I give that pick a C+ because I feel like there were better running backs available, like Jonathan Taylor And also, I feel like their offense was so great. Damian Williams was good in the Super Bowl. And so I feel like adding to the defense is a big need. And so I felt like they should have used the pick on a defender, and I also don't think Clyde was the best running back available. That's why I give this pick a C+.
Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy sports videos such as these. We hope you enjoyed our look at the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, and we are going to be releasing some more videos involving the draft itself. Once again, thank you for watching.